This review will contain detailed plot points and spoilers. It is recommended to view this film before listening to this episode. You have been warned. Welcome to the Nerdiverse. Go ahead, sit and listen to the masters, the old heads, talk about what you love the most. Video games, comics, movies, and everything you need to maintain. We got the knowledge that's straight out the ether. Gonna need a drink and have to take a seat to expand your mind and listen to the speaker. Mike and the squad's gonna give you what you need. Please send in the question, come and get some answers, learn a couple lessons from the masters with the special guests. We got the Green Lanterns glowing on their chest. Yes, please sit back and relax, cause we're gonna hit you with them stone cold facts. And allow me to be the very first to welcome you to the masters of the Nerdiverse. Welcome to Masters of the Nerdiverse Reviews, also known as MOTN Reviews, where we take a look at some of cinema's most shiniest supernovas and some that are not so brightly lit. This James Brown presents the big payback of a podcast. Could be found on iTunes, Stitcher, Spreaker, SoundCloud, YouTube, iHeartRadio, Google Play, and anywhere podcasts are presented. I'm, of course, is your Necronomicon reading host, Mike G. And with me, as always, is the also host, the ghoul that grabbed the ghoulies, Ozzy Austin.
Yo, I'm back. Not to be confused with the ghoul Ed Gein, the Wisconsin serial killer, or the Ghoul Army for Warhammer. I am not either of those things. So, haha.
Do you think that Ed Gein would have made the Ghoul Army from Warhammer?
Dude, do you know anything about Ed Gein?
I know a lot about Ed Gein.
Man, that guy was...
He was so nice, though.
He was so nice. He just had a belt made out of nipples.
And, and a couch made out of human skin,
Oh, don't forget the lampshade.
The lampshade. Somebody has that. Somebody spent good money to have that in their house.
Yeah, they spent like thousands of dollars. I'm just like, that is the most grotesque. Like, the best way to describe grotesque is that lamp.
He never invited anyone over for dinner for a good reason. Because what do you do?
I mean, he was the inspiration for American Psycho for a good goddamn reason.
And the inspiration for Norman Bates in Psycho.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like, honestly, one of America's first notorious serial killers.
Yeah, man.
Boy.
And then
but we're not here for that today.
I wanted to make a Zodiac reference, but we are not here for that today.
You mean Ted Cruz?
That was never fully determined.
Oh, you mean Ted Cruz, the traitor to America? Anyway, so we're going off to The Babysitter.
Sirs. We're talking about Netflix's own The Babysitter. I would say debuted 2017, directed by the notorious Mick G.
Written by Brian Duffield, who also wrote the Divergent series.
Divergent Suicides?
No, he wrote Divergent, that teen...
Oh man, Divergent. Don't remind me of that
whatever.
stuff. Okay, real quick. What house are you?
Man.
What house are you, Doug? Tell me. What Divergent house are you?
I don't know anything about Divergent, so I can't tell you.
Oh man, I'm not going to talk.
I literally don't know anything about Divergent, so I can't say.
We shan't talk about Divergent.
I got away with it because I've never seen anything about it, so I can't say anything. So
that's okay. You've escaped.
Yeah,
you threw down your smoke pellet and teleported out. You were like,
but
you're
still,
like,
directed by Mick G, who's
Mick G.
Exactly. Directed by Mick G, the guy who first debuted in Hollywood with the Charlie's Angels movie with Drew Barrymore and Lucy Liu and that other one blonde lady.
It was, and Drew Barrymore was in those movies too, dude. Did you? Oh, I meant.
I just said that. Yeah,
I know.
I'm saying I said Drew Barrymore.
I meant to say Demi Moore. Is what I meant to say.
Cameron Diaz. That's her name.
As you can tell, we're a little rusty.
Oh
folks.
God,
we're a little rusty, but that's okay.
Yeah, man, this is starting off strong. Holy
strong,
cow.
like a cup of black coffee. He also did Terminator Salvation, which
that's a movie.
which is why you don't see a lot of McG floating around nowadays. But actually, this film was actually a pleasant surprise for me, which was Austin's recommendation. So I'll ask you, Austin, what was your first introduction to this movie?
Going through Netflix's recommended queue.
Simple as that, huh?
Yeah. It's a Netflix movie. So yeah, I just go through Netflix. Ooh, new arrivals. What's this? The preview looks fun. I'll watch this movie. Had a lot of fun, honestly. It's a decent movie.
Yes, and as IMDb, Rust, describes it as the events of one evening take an unexpected turn for the worse when a young boy tries to spy on his babysitter. Left it vague. It's funny. I've always seen this movie on Netflix and its subsequent sequel, Killer Queen, on the periphery of my, I would say, timeline in a weird way, my Netflix timeline, my movie selections, because I'm watching nothing but old horror on it. So it always tries to suggest their horror. This movie has a TVMA rating. Why is that?
Because it's actually super, it's kind
of grotesque.
Blood?
Is it just the blood, really?
Well, no, it's the blood. It's the kind of grotesque body horror stuff they have here and there.
Child endangerment, maybe?
Satanism,
yeah. Because I was watching this movie and I was surprised that, there's a ton of blood in this movie. It's almost akin to Evil Dead levels of blood.
Yeah, when John died, who also they have a random ass cast in this. When John dies, whose name I can't really recall really well for what his actual name in real life name is, but he's famous. He used to be a famous Vine star, honestly.
Yeah, Andrew Bachelor. Yep.
Thank you.
Yep.
His fall from the balcony was actually pretty gruesome for me.
It was pretty gruesome. This movie had moments of unexpected gruesomeness. There's certain deaths, even the sacrifice's name.
I love Max though. I love Max.
Yeah, Max.
Muscle bound Max is the best.
I've always liked Robbie Amell because I liked him from Arrow. He was in Arrow.
Oh, you're right. He was.
He played, I want to say, dang it, was he one of the Red Arrows? I do not remember. Because I think Red Arrow was played by somebody else. One thing about Arrow is like they had a ton of the same character over and over, which is very DC, but I digress. This movie never really caught my interest because it seemed too goofy in a weird way for me. Like, it's really hard to pull off horror comedy. Like, only certain movies have done it perfectly. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And so in any horror movie that came out after 2010, I'm very dismissive about, mind you, unless it's Hereditary or something crazy like that, right?
But I mean, to be fair, in this movie, they just pulled off pretty well. Like, it's not overly complicated because the main character is what, 13?
Yep, 13, probably 14, probably. Yeah.
And he has a babysitter, and people give him shit for it. It's like, you have a babysitter, you're 14, what's up? And he's like, well, I don't know.
And you know what? And we can talk about that, but you said one thing about this movie is that this movie moves at a really good pace. It's a tight hour and 25 minutes.
Yeah, you know actually. It doesn't give too much guff. It's just like, here's the plot. Here we go. Action. Progression.
I did think the before we got to the real meat and potatoes of the movie, the build up for our protagonist, little Cole, colonoscopy as they would call him, played by Judah Lewis, was a little long in the tooth, but by the end of the film, all those little tie-ins to his personality rounded out the movie. You know what I mean? Like there was like Mick G did a really good job, making sure that there was no fat left on this film. It was very tight, and for it to be an hour and 25 minutes, like I miss horror movies that are that quick. You know what I mean? Like just get to the point. Let's get to it. Like.
And honestly, the villains are just kind of funny. They're kind of funny just to watch. You got Max, who is trying to kill Cole for reasons, and he's just like, you got to stand up for yourself, man. Come on, stand up.
I like everyone in this movie. Like even the bullies. Like I like everyone in this movie. It's weird.
It's so ridiculous. It's so good though. That's the thing.
Good. And I want to talk about each of the antagonists, especially the most interesting B. But I really want to talk about our protagonist first. Let's talk about Cole and his kind of transformation throughout this film. very 80s feeling. The town itself almost has its own personality. You know what I mean? That Cole resides in. And, gloves off, I was this kid. I was Cole. I was super, very, very heady, very in my own brain. You know what I mean? Very cautious about everything, being asthmatic. So I immediately drew to Cole. I was him. Got bullied before my growth spurt, all that stuff, dude. Like, so.
Super nerd.
Dad wants you to be more adventurous, and mom wants you to be more assertive. And you're just like, but I'm just me. I don't know how to be those things yet.
Now, did you have a super attractive babysitter by the name of Samara Weaving?
No, but I did have the cute neighbor next door that I did not know what to say to. I didn't know how to approach that fog gate for art.
Oh man.
You know how, they're the cute neighbor, and you're like, yeah, there's literally a Demon Souls fog gate in front of her at all times.
Man.
You just don't know how to, there's no way, dude. You're not ready. So I definitely, related to that, and them having horrible parents. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And one thing, is it just a common movie trope that the parents have to not understand their children, like on any level? Like just be totally disconnected from their children?
That's like a trope throughout any movie with kids.
Yeah.
It's just that classic line, parents just don't understand.
Parents just don't understand. And, there's the scene that sticks out with me when it comes to the parents is the mother in the crawl space, manhandling tarantulas while he's like, yeah, that's probably mom, and I would be the one to be like, mom, yeah, there's a tarantula right there. She's like, whatever, it's got to get done.
Yeah, they do more, but I've actually seen the sequel, Killer Queen, and they do more with the parents there, but that's neither here nor there for now.
Yeah, and the father trying to teach his son how to drive. And the son is paralyzed with fear because he just doesn't even want to start. And his dad kind of having that disappointed resolve, like, okay, you at least you started the car this time. It's like, ugh. It's like that was a little too real for me. Of course, him trying to get the shot at the opening of the film. Here, take the shot. Don't ask questions.
Yeah,
that kind of hits too close to home right now, but that's what right there. Take the shot. Was I being a punk? I got 78 other kids to shoot. Why aren't you taking the shot? Anyway, Cole is 13, 14. Cole does have a extremely attractive, fun, spunky, the type of person, older teenager in the form of B. And it's, women, men, the quintessential summer love, you know what I mean? Like the unobtainable, and she gives him attention. She feeds into his, she protects him in a weird way. And, he doesn't quite know what to do with that. Actually, the cops are coming for B right now.
It sounds like it. Yeah.
Can you hear it?
Oh yes. I can hear that.
Yeah. She got away. But yeah, Cole definitely has, the whole movie's about Cole's evolution, right?
Yep. His coming of age.
His coming of age in one night. I love movies that take place in one night. It's the best thing ever. Like in an enclosed space, give me one set piece, one night, wackiness breaks through. It's the perfect bookends to a story. There's the day, then it turns into night gets crazy. By the day, hero has its catharsis, story ends, villain defeated. You know what I mean? Now that I'm thinking about it, that really makes me happy about this movie. That is so tight. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on Cole, man?
I mean, Cole is he's a funny little kid. He's a nerd. He's like withdrawn. He comes out of his shell. He has a hero's journey of like, I need to be a better person. And he does it. He saves the damn day. And he kills a ton of people.
He doesn't kill anybody. He Macaulay Culkins it, Doug.
Actually, that's a good way to put it. This is basically Home Alone, but with like murder.
Yeah, with murder and mayhem. He turns it up. A lot of the antagonists kind of do themselves in a weird way. He super kills Sonya though. I'll get to that.
Yeah.
Yeah, he super killed Sonya.
He does do really well with Sonya.
Yeah.
But anywho, let's go down the antagonist list and we'll go over that as well.
Let's start with the Queen Bee herself. Bee.
I was going to save her for last because she's best.
Ooh, okay. Then let's start in reverse. Let's start with your boy John, Andrew Bachelor.
Goes out like a bitch.
Not really. It's not his fault, dude. Like I said, he got Home Alone, dog. Yeah.
No, you know what this really is?
What?
He got black man in a horror comedy.
Yeah, I have for my notes. I have black man gets sprayed like 7 times in this movie.
It's like the most like, how do you put it? It's a trope, but it's something you have to avoid, but something you also expect to happen no matter what.
And the way they handle it in this movie is that it's a trope. They know it's a trope, and they play with it the entire time.
And he says it himself, even, doesn't he?
Yeah, he says something like, like especially when the cops get called. You know what I mean? He's like, he immediately backs down. Like, I don't want none of this. I'm drenched in blood. I'm gonna die.
Yeah, exactly.
And he was the comedy relief, but everyone else was too. So he wasn't annoying, and he was dancing that line. You know what I mean? Because he always had something cool and urban to say, you know what I mean? Like, I hate to put it that way. You know what I'm saying? Like one of my favorite scenes is when they do the spin the bottle or in the Truth or Dare, and B goes around and like has to kiss everyone there, and he gets like the tongue slash on the face from her. He's like, yeah, that your spit smell good. You brushed your teeth this morning, like shit like that. It's like so goofy, dude.
Yeah, but honestly, he was like the kind of introduction to, this is setting the tone for the movie real quick.
Mm-hmm.
And then he got bought out.
He ate it ultra hard. He didn't eat it the hardest, but he ate it pretty hard.
But it was more of like it's a precursor of, this is how violent this movie's going to get.
Yeah. You know what did it for me was the sacrifice, the kid getting the knife horns. That was really interesting.
Yeah.
I created a new term. I was like, okay, knife horns. That's how we're doing this.
The kid had some fucking high blood pressure. Let's put it that way.
Dude, that's why it turned into Evil Dead for me, because it's like Japanese anime levels of gush, like that's not, and even he said, all that blood out of his head? Like, why is this possible? And that's when he got black man gets sprayed the first time, you know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly, actually. But after him, we have Sonya, the crazy one.
Sonya was quiet crazy, which I like. I love quiet crazy. Eat the cookie.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, but then she became full on like, she wants to murder this kid just for funsies. Crazy.
Yeah, there's those there who want, like, the whole crux of the film is that we do the sacrifice, you get whatever you want. It's very vague on how that works, but that's the crux of the film. She doesn't necessarily say what she wants. She just wants to kill, kind of like your boy Max. You know what I mean? Like, I'm just here for mayhem, and like you said, that slowly comes out of her, especially when she begins to hunt, Cole, in the crawl space, because everything has to tie back to itself, right? Cole's scared to go into the crawl space because his mom's down there in the spiders. Now Cole has to face that fear, go into the crawl space for his own survival.
And he did it. He did it pretty well because let's see, Sonya gets like actively murdered by Cole.
Yeah,
and
she's
it's like
the only one, dude. Like, but
yeah, it is.
Cole and B is the only two that he actively tries to kill.
He does actively kill her, and honestly, it's a really good step for him because he just realizes I need to fight for myself at this point.
Okay,
and he does it super well.
One horror trope I love, and I'm going to mention it because I would kick myself if I didn't, is the use of fireworks as the kid's ultimate weapon, as a child's ultimate weapon in horror movies. I love the use of fireworks this is the most powerful thing I have to my disposal as a kid. Cause I had, and this goes back to, Silver Bullet with Stephen King. Corey Helm had the firework that he shot into the werewolf's eye. This also goes into The Gate with Stephen Dorff with Thunderbolt. You know what I mean?
Actually, you're right. I didn't realize that.
Yeah, I love the trope of, as a kid, the most dangerous thing you have in your possession that your parents just for some reason don't care about is live fireworks somewhere in the house. that you have access to. And there's always the giant firework that you can't set until like 4th of July, and it's just in the house at Christmas. I don't know why, but you know, him using that firework to kind of Mortal Kombat fatality Sonya really brought me back to the gate into Silver Bullet. And I'm like, yeah, man, I love the fireworks use as the final weapon against the boss. You know what I mean?
I can actually see that. I didn't really think about that, but good for pointing that out, actually. Good job.
Thanks. Yeah, man. It's one of those things. As soon as I saw the fireworks, I thought Thunderbolt, and I thought the gate where Stephen Dorff's character shoots the firework at the giant Cthulhu demon at the end of the movie. And this movie has a lot of gate to it. It's minus the in the gate, Stephen Dorff's character and his best nerdy friend, who's very coalish, accidentally open a gate to hell in their backyard, listening to Black Sabbath like heavy metal music. They have a babysitter, and the babysitters have a weird little seance, which is kind of in the same kin as their, you know, ritual, and wackiness ensues. You know what I mean? So this movie really made me feel gate vibes. You know what I mean? And that it was scary. It could be, but not necessarily scary. Would you call this scary?
No, not at all.
It's just fun, right?
It's a pulpy fiction movie.
Would this be scary to a 10-year-old? Nah, right?
I mean, for a 10-year-old, it might be, just because it's kind of violent in general.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe don't let a 10-year-old watch this.
Right. The next person I would like to talk about is Bella Thorne, who plays Allison, the cheerleader.
Yeah. Okay. Bella Thorne, also known as oh god, what is it? It's not what is her name in this movie?
Melanie. No, Allison. Her name is Allison, right?
Allison. Yeah, you're right. Allison. Man, she is funny because she's just a shallow cheerleader. That's her trope. She's a shallow ass cheerleader.
She is the horror five, right? You know, like Cabin in the Woods rules. Whereas, like, you need the jock, you need the nerd, you need the high, you need the promiscuous one, right?
And this is her, and she gets shot in the tit.
She gets shot in the boob, and they that's the one joke that doesn't land for me, even though it kind of lands, is that they stay on that for the rest of her arc.
Surgery for this. It's like, that's a real life fucking worry right there. You get shot in the tit, you gotta have some good ass surgeon to repair it.
No one's gonna want to motorboat these. It's wild stuff, man.
Oh god. And guess what? She didn't have much of a presence. I mean, she was just kind of there. Her head explodes.
She wanted to be a journalist. That's a lofty goal.
Oh, yeah.
Or was she lying just to mess with Cole? I don't remember. I couldn't tell.
She said that. She said that. Let's put it that way. And her head just goes.
Yeah, she gets Gallaghered, dude.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it. Actually, she gets completely Gallaghered and dies.
And Ultra dies.
That's all you can say for her, because that's all that she was.
And that was the story of Allison.
But then you get Max, who is actually Max, cool.
Max is probably my favorite character of the movie.
He's the jock. And how long does it take for him to go shirtless in this movie? Or is he shirtless from the very beginning?
No, he goes shirtless after Cole gets drugged or passes out or whatever happens in that moment. And he wakes up and he's like, why is he shirtless? And no one will answer him.
Yeah, and he's just shirtless for the remainder of the movie. And to be fair, my dude is cut.
Yeah, Robbie Amell, dude. I'm telling you that arrow work. You do superhero stuff, you got to be cut, dude.
Dude is sculpted like, goddamn.
Goddamn. Yeah, even Allison was like, why are you asking that question? Of course he's shirtless. Why wouldn't he be? Look at him. You know what I mean? Like freaking, Michelangelo's, painting over here. Oh,
here's something really weird, Mike. What the hell? So in the upcoming Resident Evil movie is an upcoming German-American survival horror film directed by Johannes Roberts, where, get this, Robbie Amell is playing Chris Redfield.
I could see it.
I totally see this.
Yeah, why not? Young actor. He's probably in his 30s by now. Oh yeah, you're talking about the Resident Evil new remake that's going to actually have characters in the game this time.
That's not made by the guy who
Paul Anderson.
The Monster Hunter movie with Mila Jovovich, and he's kind of an awful person.
Don't get me started on that. But Max is cool because Max is that big brother. He has a very big brother vibes.
He's a murderous big brother.
He's a murderous big brother who's... My favorite Max scene is where he's about to kill Cole and the bully's egging his house. And he's like, no, I refuse to let you go out like this. You need to stand up to that guy now.
Yeah. And he's just
big
constantly,
kill, dude.
And he saw Cole kill Sonya. And he's like, God damn, Cole. Good job.
Right? I see you, bro. You know?
He's just like, good ass job. Let's do this.
You know?
He's like, excuse me?
He's like, what? He's like, no, we're getting down. We're talking. You're going to hash it out with this bully. And Cole pretty much stands up for himself, and he does a real garbage kick, which I'm like, of course he does. And he's like, you know what? You almost had him there. You know,
almost.
Next time, punch him in the dick, right? Always aim for the dick.
And of course, he chased, like, it's this weird dichotomous mix of inspiring Cole to be more of a person, whereas I need to kill you for this ritual.
That's one thing I wrote in my notes. I was like, this movie's very inspiring. In a weird
ass way.
Yeah, it's like, dude, be the best person you could be, Cole. We're all rooting for you. Run away as I try to kill you. You know? Even B is like, they're all very supportive of Cole in his metamorphosis, you know?
It's so zany and I love it.
Yeah, this movie is fun. Especially Max, because Max, he's totally enjoying it. He literally, like, we were talking about Greek gods, he literally throws like the spear of Longinus into like that cop's head. You know, like another WTF moment. You know, he literally just Achilles spears a cop in his face.
Yeah, that was pretty rough to look at.
That's probably the grossest part to me. Then he pulls the spear out sideways.
Yep.
Oh God, that was awesome.
Yeah.
And
of course, awesome. Guess what? Max dies by accidentally hanging himself. Whoopsie.
Yeah, whoopsie. I'm telling you, he gets Macaulay Culkin, dog.
He does. And then we get the Queen Bee, Samara Weaving. And
who does an amazing job in this movie.
Also, those who don't know, niece to Hugo Weaving.
Hey, it's not what you know, it's who you know.
She is my age, so and she is so fine as both a woman and as an actress.
Yeah, she carries this film. She has to, right?
She 100% does.
She's the titular babysitter. She has to carry this film.
Yeah, exactly.
And she does it. Yeah.
God, I just love this woman. She's just such a good actress, and she's just so aggressive and forward. And in this movie, it pulls off the same way. It basically is just Samara, act like yourself. Okay.
Yeah, she very much gives off that good girl, bad girl at the same time vibe, where it's like, oh yeah, I will protect this child with my life because I have to. And also she's just extremely fun. She's cool. She's, like I said, she's the babysitter. She's the Sandlot, you know, lifeguard. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like unobtainable, but personable. You like her you like her throughout this. You're in love with her this entire movie, right? Even as she's chasing Cole with a shotgun, you love her this entire movie. She captivates every scene she's in. She never lies to him. She's very straightforward with him. She goes over her top 6 intergalactic dream team, which I wasn't expecting in this film. And guess what? Pop quiz hot shot. We're doing it right now.
Oh boy.
What is your top 6 dream team to fight an intergalactic threat and save the universe?
I can't think of a team to save the universe without going to Marvel, and I think that's a cheap answer.
That's okay. Science fiction, like Cole said, science fiction, you can do anything.
Okay. 1, Ripley from Aliens.
Nice. Mm-hmm.
2, Luke Skywalker, because fucking have a wizard.
Okay.
Just have a wizard.
Yep.
3, Louise Banks from Arrival.
Ooh, nice. You need her on there.
Yeah, exactly. This is a bit of a weird one. You ever read the book All You Need Is Kill? Or I guess
yeah.
Keiji Karya.
Dude, that's a
Keiji
pull,
Kiryu.
man. That's a good
Yeah, I know,
pull.
right? And for those who don't know, it's the character that Tom
Cruise plays.
Cruise is based off of. Tom Cruise is based off of in the movie Edge of Tomorrow.
Nice.
Of course, Mad Max.
Mad Max.
He's like the
He's the wild card.
Ball.
Yeah, he's the wild card, huh?
And then I would also say Lena, the biologist scientist from Annihilation.
Dude, you guys are going to stop the intergalactic threat, huh?
If you have a sci-fi team, you need fucking scientists. I'm just saying.
You need at least one scientist, right?
Why not just have more? That's my thing.
All scientists, but they're buff, dude.
Well, except for I guess 3 of them aren't really scientists. One's a wizard, and 2 of them are just killers.
See, the wizard balances out the scientist, Doug. The wizard who can literally do whatever he wants balances out the scientist.
I guess Ripley was a scientist. Then she became a hardcore alien murderer. So
Ripley was an intergalactic truck driver, dude.
Oh, you're right.
He was pretty much the captain of Team Truck Boat.
Actually, she was just a regular old Joe Schmo, or Jane Smith, I should say.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, boom, time to get into this.
And next thing you know, get away from her, you bitch.
Yeah, exactly.
I usually build my teams off a very strict, I will never break this ever formula. And that's the leader, the tactician, the powerhouse, the wild card, the weapons master / kind of, fighter. And in this case, in the 6, it's usually a mix of pilot / operator. You know what I'm saying? So I'm going to go down my list really quick, so we don't spend too much time on this. I love that they did this in this film. It gives me a reason to be a nerd. Okay, leader, Optimus Prime. All day. Why are you not going to have a giant robot to fight intergalactic threats, right?
Okay, go on.
Tactician, the Doctor. Specifically Capaldi's Doctor.
Oh boy, okay, go ahead.
Because you need a wizard.
Go ahead.
Powerhouse, the Terminator, for 2 reasons. 1, he's damn near unstoppable, and 2, he is a robot and can possibly interact with interfaces. The wild card, Agent Smith from The Matrix. Once again, technologically based. By the end of Matrix Revolutions, he's pretty much an army of Neos, if you really want to think about it.
Okay.
So he's pretty much the Flood. That's what I want. Speaking of the Flood, my weapons master is going to be Master Chief, because why not have Master Chief on the team? Even though it'll work out. And my pilot, of course, is Wash from Firefly.
I can't tell which list is better compared to the other.
We both have strong ass lists.
Mine's like dark realistic sci-fi, and yours is just like America. Fuck yeah.
Mine's is Ready Player One. Is pretty much it.
Oh god, Ready Player One. That's a movie I don't want. That's a movie I don't ever want to see again.
See, your list is Captain Jean-Luc Picard. My list is Captain James T. Kirk.
Oh boy,
you're trying to work it out with the aliens. I'm just trying to destroy them.
I'll live with that. Picard was better.
Picard was better, but for these, if I need to destroy an intergalactic threat, I want Kirk on my team rather than Picard. Picard will just get captured and join them or something.
So yes, so they had that list going on. Yes. I would say they made this movie really fun and really pulpy for all the right reasons. General.
One last question about B. How old is B?
Oh, I'd say 22.
No, how old is B? I have a theory that B is probably super, 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 super old.
Oh, they covered that in the next movie.
Shit. I need to watch that. Because my theory is, A, where does a 22-year-old get old of an original print Necronomicon? And B, how does she know how to use it? And C, they make a reference to him not being the first child. And that she's kind of a wanderer.
They cover that in the next movie.
Do we have to do Killer Queen as kind of like a review sequel? You tell me right now. Is it worth it?
As a 5-minute blurb in another episode, maybe.
Okay, then no. That means no. So I'll live in this bubble here of The Babysitter.
If you're gonna watch it, just have some whiskey or have a sploof on your standby because you're gonna need it.
A sploof, bre. Overall, this movie was extremely fun. I like the musical cues. I'm a big stickler about music in film, like, especially if you're using popular culture music. Like, you have to do that right. You know what I mean? You can't.
Oh, 100%. 100%. Yeah.
You can't, I hate to say Zack Snyder it and be like, this song is supposed to be your emotion.
Or like
Right?
in Amazing Spider-Man 2, they had that weird pop culture song.
What?
God,
Thunderstruck by
remember
AC/DC?
No, I remember watching Amazing Spider-Man 2 with Andrew Garfield, and they had this like shitty pop music just play in a montage, and I just wanted to die
It
because
just
it was
ate
awful.
you alive, huh? Yeah.
Yeah, it was just the worst placement.
Yeah, it just reminds me of Angel in the Morning in the It Chapter 2. You know what I mean?
Oh.
Like, just why are you here? So that's a big stickler for me. And the music in this film, there was some original scoring, which I could hear or caught on. And then there was actual, We Are the Champions and, things like that. I think that's what was playing. So they did it right. Mick G knows he started out as a music video director. So he knows how to fit these things in. The movie never let up pace. It was very fun. It was very gory. I would have loved this movie as a kid.
Yeah, I would 100% have watched this movie again and again as a young teenager.
Yeah, this would have been on rotation. This is that kind of movie where there's no nudity, there's vulgarity, but it's not played like that. It's a very weirdly teenage/tween kind of speed. You know what I mean? Like, my mom would have let me watch this, is what I'm saying. Then I can ask her, what are the actual ramifications of being shot in the boob? You know what I mean?
Oh, horrible, horrible pain.
Horrible pain. She better be happy it didn't reach her heart. Anywho, which is weird, which is a question. What are your final thoughts on this film?
Yo, this movie it's perfect for like a pulpy date night. If you want to watch something with your fam or like your friends or that cute date, something fun, stupid, but funny and good, watch this movie.
I would agree.
Solid 7 out of 10.
This is a very good, it's Friday night. You ordered a pizza, you got some brews, you're hanging out with your friends, hanging out with your significant other, and you just want to put something on and you're going to laugh and have a good time. It's quick, it's in and out, everyone's firing at all cylinders. This is a really fun popcorn horror movie.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
And this is a very good gateway horror movie, I would say.
Yeah.
If you have someone who's like, oh, I don't really like horror movies, they're too scary. Here, check out The Babysitter. Maybe this will wet your whistle. Maybe you can graduate to Evil Dead, you know what I mean? Or Poltergeist or something like that, where it starts to get a little bit more ramped up. You know what I mean? This is a nice gateway horror movie.
Oh, yes, exactly. It's like very nice, it's very easy, and honestly, it's just good fun.
Okay, if you were to rate this movie from 0 to 5 ritual sacrifices, what would you rate it?
I'd say 3.5, like a solid 3.5. It's ticking off the right boxes. It's not like amazing or game changing.
Mm-hmm.
However, it's doing enough stuff right and some originality that makes you go, I like this. I'll come back to this one day.
You know what? I'm very happy you put this on my radar because we were going to do something else as kind of the review this time around, our return, so to speak. And you were like, no, let's do this. And I was like, you know what? Okay, I'll take your word for it. Because this is, like I said, this is a movie that was never on my radar. It was always just kind of like around, like, oh, I'll never see that. But I'm very happy you brought this up to the point where I'm going to give this a 4 out of 5. You know what I mean?
There you go.
I really like the characters. I related to the characters. I knew Cole. Like, I was Cole. I knew B. I knew the bully. I literally knew that bully, dude. The kid with the headband. I knew that kid. I always wanted to fight him. But he was also a fog gate that I could not pass through. Just moved away and the problem went away. So I give this movie a 4 out of 5. It does have its problems. Yes. Is it a perfect movie? No, but it's a lot of fun. I would watch it again. I'm probably going to watch it again. And I would highly recommend it to those who are looking for a gateway horror movie. Maybe something you could show like your older kids, not necessarily children, but that tween, because, not yet not yet a man but still a boy kind of age, and they'll probably get a kick out of it and see if they like horror movies, you know.
And I would recommend transitioning from this movie into another Samara Weaving movie I love called Ready or Not.
Ooh, okay. If we're doing
you ever seen that one?
Yes, that was super, super good.
That is peak movie.
You know what? I would transition this, and this is going to sound crazy, but hear me out. I would transition this movie to a good old classic I love, Ernest Scared Stupid.
I see that. I mean, I would say Ernest Scared Stupid beforehand, honestly, but
yeah, it's just kind of still in that entry level tween kind of horror where it's funny, but it's also moments of scare. It's also moments of tension and suspense. He fights a troll. He drinks Miak. It's a good time had by
exactly.
All.
So what you got going on this week, Mike?
Man, I'm probably gonna watch Killer Queen, even though we're not going to be reviewing it. Just so I can have an opinion on it. It's probably what I'm going to be
just
doing.
So you can tweet me back and say, what the fuck?
Bruh. Bruh. Where can we find you, Austin?
I am on Twitter at Austin Ozzy. Come find me. Also, why do I keep getting creepy sex spots on Twitter trying to follow me? Please stop that.
This is what happens when you click onto Samara Weaving's Twitter page, dude.
Yeah, just get like bots spamming me about freaking dick pills or something like that.
Always punch in the dick. Never not punch in the dick. If you do not want to be punched in the penis, go to our channel, which is MassiveNerdiverseCast.com, where we where we have hundreds of episodes at this point. I think we're about to hit 300. 300. That's our website. You can listen to all of our past episodes. You can join our Patreon. You can buy merch at our shop on TeePublic. There's a lot of stuff, a lot of good times to be had on our website. You can also visit us on Twitter, which is at MNerdiverse, where we do polls, we post images, we do drawings, we do all types of crazy nerd stuff there. If this is your first time listening to these podcasts, I would like to be the first to say hello and welcome you to the Nerdiverse. I've, of course, been your host, Mike G.
And I have been your also host, Austin.
And we will always ask you to look towards the skies. Look towards the skies.